2018 Rotax Max Euro Trophy season here at Speed World in Austria. It's DD2 and DD2+Masters action that will close out the weekend of racing. So, your grid is as follows. On pole position, it's Daniel Mahacek, who has had a 100% win success rate this weekend. Zenderu will be alongside on the front row in the 435, and it's Martin Henkel-Mortens and Konstantin Schürrle lines up with him on row 2. Max Fleischmann in 5th, ahead of Manuel Tenschert in 6th, Matthias Lind and Niki Lahr, row 4. Dionysis Livris and Piotr Brzezinski, row 5. Willi Leinen and Johan Andersson on row 6. Moransky, Fodor, row 7. Steinert, Weinstock, row 8. Adams and Van der Kaj round out the 18-strong field as Thomas Piet opted to elect to go home a bit earlier. So our last race will be 14 minutes plus 1 additional lap in duration. Could I ask for drivers 232 and 295 to the stewards immediately? 232 and 295 to the stewards immediately. Thank you. So the front row now starts to control the pace. At 2:59, my apologies there. So that's 2:32 and 2:59 to the stewards immediately, please. 2:32, 2:59 to the stewards immediately, please. Thank you. As I was saying, with regards to the front two now starting to control the pace as we head towards the final couple of corners. The grid is being ordered to slow down. They need to quickly get into formation. Had racing for the final time this weekend. So the front two controlling the pace to a crawl as we go around the left-hander that takes us onto the start-finish straight. They go into the tram lines, the throttle is put to the floor, and we go racing for the final time here. Zenderu now in third. Martin Henkel-Mortens manages to get into second for the minute. And it looks like Max Fleischmann's got his way up into third place right now, so the German's already got a good start. So Zenderu in fourth, it looks like. Looks like maybe Dionysis Livris might be up a little bit further up the order. He did start from 9th, which would have put him on the inside for turn 1. So there's Max Fleischmann, Zenderu. And the 4:01 of Konstantin Schürrle. So Schürrle now a little bit further down the order, looks to be in 5th place. As Mahacek is being hounded a little bit by Martin Henkel-Mortens, so Mahacek will not probably have an easy time this race on this particular occasion, as Martin Henkel-Mortens wants to consolidate some more points. He took 16 points in the first final. As Konstantin Schürrle goes up the inside of Zenderu, going into the infield section. Nice work by the Austrian there. Matthias Lund right on the back bumper of the number 435. Dionysis Livris is there in the mix as well. Manuel Tenschert is 9th at the minute. So two leaders really making a clean getaway from the rest of the field. And it's 1.5 seconds all the way back from Martin Henkel-Mortens down to Max Fleischmann from Germany, who's currently in 3rd. Konstantin Schürrle now up into 4th place ahead of Zenderu with Matthias Lund there. Dionysis Livris in 7th. Niki Lahr in... Well, Lahr throws it up the inside of Dionysis Livris, who goes straight on the offensive, gets the switchback move through with great timing there. So the two leaders clearly making a lot of distance between themselves. So it looks like the battle at the front is going to be closely fought between Mahacek and Martin Henkel-Mortens, who's just taken in 2/10 of a second out of the leader just on that last lap around. Just over 3.5 tenths separate Mahacek and Henkel-Mortensen. As Konstantin Schürrle is keeping in touch with Max Fleischmann, as is Zenderu and also Matthias Lund. Niki Lahr looks to have got past Dionysis Livris for position. That's 7th on the road. So leaders coming through the final couple of corners onto the left-hander, which puts them on the start-finish line. 0.436, so it is a pendulum swing in the favour of Daniel Mahacek from Austria. Last laps around was a 42.704 for Mahacek, and Henkel Mortensen did a 42.782 with Vililainen all the way down in last place. And looks like Steinert is getting very, very racy behind Moransky and Wisnicki. That is the battles for 11th, 12th and 13th. A little bit further up the road with the Johan Andersson, Manuel Tenschert and Dionysius Livris, who are 10th to 8th position, 8th respectively on the road. Mahacek is now extending the gap with Henkel Mortens. So 0.7 of a second separates the pair. So just over 10 minutes plus one additional lap to go here in the last final of the day. DD2 and DD2+Masters currently leading the respective classes. It is Mahacek leading the race itself with Manuel Tenschert in the 584, currently 9th on the road behind Dionysius Livris in the 436 from Greece. It looks very, very close indeed between Max Fleischmann, Konstantin Scholl and Zen Daru. That is the battle from 3rd to 5th on the road as they come across the start-finish line. They were separated by just over half a second on the last lap. And he literally goes straight on, going through turn 1 into the turn 2 chicane. Now it's where the undulation might unsettle the carts if they get the apex point wrong. We've seen that some drivers have ended up with one wheel or two wheels on the dusty part of the grass that we have on the outside of track limits. And Billy Vililainen will take no further part in this race, having parked it 4 laps ago, as the leaders come across the start-finish line. Martin Henkel Mortens is trying to respond to the current leader, Daniel Mahacek. Wisnicki and Moransky have both got past Johan Andersson, 10th and 11th place respectively. Meanwhile, the battle is clearly on from 3rd to 6th, with Fleischmann, Scholl, Daru and Lund is keeping within touching distance of the number 435, who started alongside Daniel Mahacek on the front row. But with the inside line, it looked like Martin Henkel Mortensen had a bit of an advantage going into turn number 1 at the start, which was around 6 minutes ago. And the two at the front are setting respectively similar lap times. Mahacek was 9 thousandths slower than Martin Henkel Mortensen last time around. Whereas Max Fleischmann is still keeping the 3 behind him at bay. The German staying in 3rd position, having started from 5th on the grid when we went green. With Zen Daru also looking to get at least 1 or 2 maybe places back by the end of the race. 7 minutes, 37 seconds plus 1 additional lap to go. Just a quick reminder to all competitors in junior and senior max, can you make sure that you hand back your transponders to the race office? That's all transponders to be returned to the race office. So the gap has swung a little bit more in the favour of Daniel Mahacek from Austria. He's just gone nearly a 10th of a second quicker on the last lap around. Oh, and there's that was not going to happen at all. And that looks to be Moransky and Andersson. And Andersson's left front wheel was wobbling away after Moransky's right rear wheel came into contact. And it looks like Martin Henkel Mortensen is keeping pace with Mahacek, who's running quite consistently in the 42.5s, as is Henkel Mortens. It's about 0.10 of a second between the pair on the last tour around, as Max Fleischmann has Konstantin Scholl literally breathing down the neck, breathing down the back of his race overalls. But then Zen Daru is also there too, and nearly went up the inside of Scholl for 4th place. But didn't have enough room to make the position possible, the positional switch possible. 6 minutes 10 plus an additional lap. And again, Mahacek goes a little bit quicker than Martin Henkel-Mortensen as the rest of the field start making their way across the start-finish line. And so Ville Villainen and Johan Andersson are two drivers that will not take any further part in the race. As you can see just how close Konstantin Schürrle is to Max Fleischmann in the battle for third place, but Zenderu is wanting to keep a little bit further behind, so to speak. Strategy call, I think, there, because if the two in front do tangle, then he's got an opportunity to gain 2 places. But I think he might have other ideas now. I can see how close he is to Konstantin Schürrle going through the last couple of corners. And it's less than, well, it's around about half a kart length, maybe a kart length and a half at the very most, between 4th and 5th, as they go onto the far side of the track. Short blast through into the chicane that goes up and down in terms of incline very, very quickly. 5 minutes on the clock plus 1 additional lap remaining in our last final, DD2 and DD2 Masters. Manuel Tenchet still continues to lead the DD2 Masters class in 9th on the road ahead of Vizhnicki. But Mahacek still continues to lead and has extended the gap between himself and Martin Henkel-Mortensen to around about 9/10 of a second, because Henkel-Mortensen responded with a lap time that was nearly 1/10 of a second quicker. And between Fleischmann, Schürrle and Deroux, Schürrle is actually the quickest of the 3 of them as I go through the chicane on the far side of the track yet again. So next time around we'll see how the gap is between Daniel Mahacek and Martin Henkel-Mortensen in the race to the flag, where we just have about 4 3/4 minutes remaining to go. Depending on the pace that they're setting, Martin Henkel-Mortensen has taken just over 2/10 of a second out of Daniel Mahacek on that last lap, with Konstantin Schürrle getting trying to get closer and closer to Max Fleischmann in that battle for third place. He's about just over 2/10 of a second off the German. And in terms of the DD2 Masters class, Tenchet is leading in 10th now, having been passed by Vizhnicki. Fedor is second in the 599, currently 12th on the road, with Christoph Adams, the current points leader in DD2 Masters, 14th but 3rd in class. And you can just see how close they are in formation between, well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The battle is going to be heating up as we close into the business end. Henkel-Mortensen has just taken nearly 2/10 of a second yet again out of Daniel Mahacek. The gap now half a second. And I think in some respects the job that Max Fleischmann is doing in 3rd at the moment is quite a good one, because he's not really looking behind him to see where Konstantin Schürrle is. He's probably got a good sense of the fact that he knows that the Austrian is behind him. Gap reduced yet again. Slightly less time taken out of Mahacek on that particular occasion, but the gap between Mahacek and Martin Henkel-Mortensen is now gone just under half a second. Meanwhile, the battle for third still rages on unabated. Max Fleischmann continues to lead the trio in 3rd place ahead of Konstantin Schürrle, who gets right up close and personal going into the infield section. So, just heard a mention over the radio that something with regards to Mahacek in the 430. Henkel-Mortensen is still within touching distance. He's less than half a second adrift. The lap times were pretty much even Steven between the top 2. As you can see, this battling trio led by Max Fleischmann for 3rd to 5th. And just look at the, oh well, the back rear bumper on Daniel Mahacek is hitting the floor. And it's coming loose. That could be disaster for the Austrian. Has he realized it yet? That could be a mechanical black flag for the leader. Martin Henkel-Mortensen can see it in his line of sight right in front of him. So the right side of that rear bumper on the 430 of Mahacek, that is definitely not kosher at all. He's still trying to drive the kart away. So whether he's clobbered something a bit too hard with one of the curves, and it's made his weekend unravel. So here comes Martin Henkel-Mortensen. He now knows, right, this is my chance. This is my opportunity, because I know that the guy in front. Now, has Mahacek actually realised the right rear of that kart? That bumper is dragging on the floor. We have less than 20 seconds to go. I've got a feeling that now it's getting very, very close indeed. Martin Henkel-Mortensen knows that the win is pretty much going to be his if Mahacek keeps on running and he gets a mechanical black flag. So that bumper still drags on the ground as Mahacek continues to lead. But I think it's going to be a case of, will there be? Because that, in my eyes, that's a mechanical black flag that should be happening. So we are on the final lap of the race, and you can just see how close Martin Henkel-Mortensen is now in terms of proximity to Daniel Mahacek. And that's not going to be helping Mahacek's pace at all, because he did a 42.8. Even with that right rear bumper dragging on the floor, Martin Henkel-Mortensen is pretty much with him right now as they come through the final couple of corners. So the checkered flag waves. It was just over a tenth of a second between Mahacek and Henkel-Mortensen. And Max Fleischmann holds on to third from Konstantin Schürrle and Zenderu. What a great drive by the German. Damage limitation this weekend. But my biggest question to end the weekend off with is, with this rear bumper dragging on the floor for at least 2 to 3 minutes, could it be the case that Daniel Mahacek does not take the victory? It will be decided after the race, but provisionally at the moment, Daniel Mahacek takes another win here in Austria to conclude round 3 of the 2018 Rotax Max Euro Trophy. And the finishing order provisional at the moment, I would guess. Mahacek takes... So, Daniel Mahacek takes the win, I would say, provisionally for the moment. Martin Henkel-Mortensen takes second, Max Fleischmann third, Konstantin Schürrle fourth, ahead of Zenderu, who rounded out the top 5. Matthias Lund was 6th ahead of Niki La. Piotr Wisnicki was 8th ahead of Dionysis Liveris. Manuel Tenschert wins DD2+Masters Final 2 in 10th. Ahead of Steinert, Fodor, Van der Kaj, Adams, Moransky and Weinstock, rounding out the 16 drivers that did complete the race, with both Johan Andersson and Ville Leinen not taking any further part, with Thomas Piat a non-start.